Have you been impacted by crime in Saint Lucia? Family, friends, and loved ones of victims whose lives were stolen by ruthless criminals feel the long-lasting effects of the fists and starts associated with 2 decades of crime waves in their hearts and thoughts. Those at the top admit that the island is facing an epidemic of violent crime, and there is no simple prescription of an elixir to suppress the chronic symptoms of deadly antisocial behavior. Nonetheless, to tackle this societal malady, the Seventh-day Adventist Church has recruited the services of a crime reduction specialist, Neil Shaiton, who looks to apply his EDA framework to fight crime.
The E stands for enforcement. The D stands for diagnosing or diagnosis. Ladies and gentlemen, in the Caribbean I've seen, and even Canada where I'm from, and the States where I've worked, East Africa, England, that's one of the issues, right? We are treating, but the question is, what are we treating? If we don't know what we're treating, how could you go to a doctor and he hasn't diagnosed you, but he prescribes? All right. So in the D for EDA, it is the diagnosis. We get into the diagnosis where we look at what are the root causes of crime and violence. Then, of course, the next E is education.
The community of Vieux Fort has become the latest battleground and epicenter of gun violence as marauding rival factions with high-caliber weapons of war in hand engage in gangland-style shootings with impunity. Shaiton posits rehabilitation is an important part of the strategy for reducing and controlling crime.
And because, ladies and gentlemen, when we put them in jail, if we not rehabilitate them, they come out, can I use a local term, vex. They've lost girlfriend, they lost wife, they lost children, they lost job, they lost their profile, they lost everything. Hey, they're coming out angry, they lost their job. And so rehabilitation, whether it's institutionalized or in the community, so that's what I'm trying to, I brought to you.
This week, Parliament enacted tough gun controls with life sentences for would-be offenders. Joachim Henry, the Minister for Ecclesiastical Affairs, expressed optimism that the crime situation can be ameliorated.
I have no doubt that we will start to see some form of things happening in Saint Lucia. I have met with the faith-based organizations because I believe the work of transformation, like I've said, is not the work of government, it's the work of everyone, especially civil society. I think that tonight that the Adventist Church has demonstrated that it is not just about the pulpit, it is not just about the pews and speaking to persons in the pews, but it is responding to problems that affect a nation.
The SDA Church in Vieux Fort has been doing its part with anti-crime marches and other activities. Minister Henry has urged other civil society organizations to participate if they can address the scourge that threatens life, liberty, and trade in their unique way. He is optimistic of the ingenuity of the St. Lucian people in finding a variety of remedies to counter the raft of violent crime incidents on the island. Soulage Alfred, HTS News Force.